Workers at the Ford plant in Cologne can't complain about not getting enough work these days. The factory is running 3 shifts a day, turning out vehicles around the clock. This plant is one of the biggest in Europe. Here, Inan Öztürk and his colleagues are building cars like the new model Ford Fiesta. There's no sign of an economic crisis here.
Now that the order books are so full, I don't need to worry. Actually, no one at Ford needs to right now.
What's the mood among your colleagues?
The mood is very good. They're all relieved because short-time work has been abolished. Clearly, they're very relieved. It's a load off our minds. Let's put it that way.
It's a crazy world. While the parent company is fighting for its life, the plant manager of Ford's factory in Cologne is having to organize extra Saturday shifts and cancel holidays.
At the beginning of the year, the situation was really tough. We'd made arrangements for a 4-day work week. At the time, I went with our personnel office employees to the labor office. That's something you don't want to have to do. But then the scrapping bonus came along and demand went through the roof.
Around 80% of the Fiestas produced in Cologne are destined for export. But at the moment, they're barely able to make enough cars to satisfy the German market.
Right now we're producing 1,750 vehicles a day. On April 20th, we'll ramp that up to 1,850. That's close to our capacity limit.
Compact models like the Ford Fiesta are currently the favorites at motor shows. For many people, the government's €2,500 scrapping bonus makes buying a cheap new vehicle worthwhile. Ford has sold 6 times as many Fiestas in Germany in the first 3 months of 2009 as during the same period last year. But the big question is, what happens when the scrapping bonus ends? Automakers are searching for long-range concepts.
We have to keep cutting costs. We have to create a structure which allows us to work profitably, even with reduced demand in Europe. At the same time, in the middle and long term, we have to keep developing good products, ones which will make us even more competitive when the crisis is over and demand increases again.
Bernhard Mattes remains optimistic. He has plans to market new fuel-saving models. But for the US-owned automaker, the situation is doubly difficult. Even though demand for Ford vehicles is strong in Europe, the future of the company will be decided in the US.
Other car companies have their head offices in Europe, not America. But ultimately, they too must act globally and bring differing visions, wishes and market demands into line with their corporate strategy. We do that too.
If US sales fall much further, then this could have negative consequences for Ford Germany. But for now, Ford is investing €200 million into its Cologne plant. A new generation of more fuel-efficient motors is to be built here starting 2011. For Inan and his colleagues, what's happened here is nothing short of a miracle. Are you glad it's quitting time?
I'd rather be in a lot of stress than have too little work.
Ford Germany employees hope to have plenty more work to do. Next year, the new Fiesta will go on sale in the US. If it sells well, then the future looks bright for Ford Cologne, with or without the scrapping bonus.